Hey everybody, I hope you're having a good Friday and you might even be taking the day off of school because it's almost Easter. And today is an exciting day because we're reading chapters 9 and 10 and we're going to be finishing this book today. So my last time I'll tell you, if you haven't watched Monday through Thursday's videos, watch them before you watch this or you will be way behind in our book because we only have a little tiny bit left to read. So remember, yesterday we ended off, oh gosh, I remember this picture. We ended up right here with the mammoth, with Jack and Annie on top, and then the saber-tooth. Let's see how the story ends. Chapter 9, Master of the Animals. The saber-tooth crept forward. Jack stared in horror. Play the flute, whispered Annie. Is she nuts? Jack thought. Try, said Annie. Jack held the mammoth bone flute to his lips. He blew. The flute made a strange noise. The tiger froze. He glared at Jack. Jack's hands shook. The tiger growled. He took another step. The mammoth roared and stomped the ground. Play it, said Annie. Keep playing. Jack blew again. The saber-tooth froze. Jack kept blowing until he ran out of breath. The tiger snarled. Urgh. He's still here, whispered Annie. Keep it up. Jack closed his eyes. He took a deep breath and he blew as hard as he could for as long as he could. He covered and uncovered the holes on the bone. The music sounded strange, as if it was coming from another world. He's leaving, Annie whispered. Jack raised his eyes. The saber-tooth was slinking off towards the cliffs. We did it, said Annie. Jack lowered the flute. He felt very tired. The mammoth waved his trunk happily. To the treehouse, Lulu, said Annie. The woolly mammoth snorted. Then she lumbered over to the tallest tree. From the back of the mammoth, Jack grabbed the rope ladder. He held it for Annie. She stroked the mammoth's giant ear. Bye, Lulu. Thank you, she said. Annie grabbed the rope ladder. Then she started up. Peanut climbed up too. After they disappeared into the treehouse, Jack climbed onto the ladder. He looked at the woolly mammoth one more time. Here's the picture. You can see there's Annie and Peanut, and then there's Jack and the mammoth. He looked back at the woolly mammoth. Bye, girl, he said. Go home now and watch out for the saber-tooth. The mammoth walked away into the sunset. When Jack couldn't see her anymore, he started up the rope ladder. He pulled himself into the treehouse. Ta-da! Said Annie, and she handed him the Pennsylvania book to Jack. Jack smiled. Now he was positive they had found the third M thing. Their mission was complete. Before we leave, we have to give our coats back, said Annie. Oh, right, said Jack. They took off the reindeer skin coats and dropped them to the ground. Brr, said Annie. I hope the Cro-Magnon people find them. Jack stared out the window and he wanted to take one last look at the prehistoric world. The sun was setting behind the hills. 4 people were crossing the snowy plain. It was the Cro-Magnon family. Hey, shouted Annie. Shh, said Jack. The Cro-Magnons stopped and peered in Annie and Jack's directions. We left your reindeer skins! Down there! Annie pointed to the ground. The tallest person stepped forward and raised a spear. Time to go, said Jack. He grabbed the Pennsylvania book and the picture of Frog Creek and pointed to it. I wish we could go home, he said. Goodbye, good luck, Annie called, waving out the window. The wind started to blow and the treehouse started to spin. It spun faster and faster, and then everything was still, absolutely still. And chapter 10 is This Age. Birds sang. The air was soft and warm. I hope they find their coats, said Annie. Me too, said Jack. He pushed his glasses into place. Squeak! Hey, you! How did you find the sorcerer? Annie asked Peanut. Squeak! It's a secret, huh, said Annie. She turned to Jack. Where's the flute? He held up the mammoth bone. Then he placed it on the M carved into the floor next to the mango from the rainforest, next to the moonstone from the time of the ninjas. Here's the picture, and I will keep reading. Moonstone, mango, mammoth bone, Annie said. We just need one more M thing. Then Morgan will be free from her spell. Tomorrow, said Jack. Annie patted Peanut on the head. Bye, you, she said. She started down the rope ladder. Jack gathered his things. He paused and glanced at the mouse. She stared at him with big brown eyes. Thanks again for helping us, he said. Then he climbed down the rope ladder and jumped into the ground. Jack and Annie ran through the Frog Creek woods onto their street. Their neighborhood looked rosy in the sunset. It's great to be back in this age, Jack thought. Warm, safe, and almost home. I'm glad we don't have to go hunting for our dinner, he said. Yeah, Mom and Dad already did that at the supermarket, said Annie. I hope they trapped some spaghetti and meatballs, said Jack. I hope they trapped a pizza, said Annie. Hurry, I'm starving, said Jack. They ran up their sidewalk and through their front door. We're home, shouted Annie. What's for dinner? Shouted Jack. And that is the last page. I hope you guys enjoyed this week reading all about Sunset of the Saber-Tooth from Jack and Annie's series. I hope you enjoyed it. See you guys next week. Bye!